Good morning guys, I'm Chris and welcome back to another episode of Rift Amps. Okay, red plate back on the bench. I have swapped out the arced 6L6 socket. So we've got a new one in place, all wired in. The amp is up and running at idle. It pulls 78 watts out of the wall. Currently testing it normal channel or clean channel, I guess. Treble and bass on 0. The bass doesn't go all the way down to 0 because it's got a lift on it. So fully counterclockwise. Middle on 10. Presence on 10. We'll bring up the master. Well, first of all, sorry. On the back panel, it says bias it to 72 millivolts. Well, it's quite a sensitive pot. The closest I can get is 71.5. So forgive me for half a millivolt. But here we go. Master on full. Volume up. It's passing audio. Zoom you in. So we've got, there's clipping. We'll just back it down a bit. We've got no crossover distortion. Looking good. And we're currently doing 20.4 volts RMS into 8 ohms. So 20 gives us 50 watts. 20.5 gives us 52.5 watts. So it's putting out the right power to 6L6 amp. 50 watts is about there. Let's try, it's got a fixed bias, cathode bias switch on the back. So we'll flick that. That's cathode bias mode. Get quite a output drop. What do I need to keep it clean? About 9 volts. Puts this about 10 watts. So it acts kind of like a half power switch. Bring it back. Yeah, so it's doing a healthy 50 watts. I'm going to leave this soak testing at rated output. Consumption increases to 160 watts out of the wall. So I'll just leave this soak testing for, it's had half an hour already. Half an hour, 45 minutes. We'll give it another hour. See if there's any change in output. Because remember, his initial complaint was he was getting very, very intermittent volume drops on this thing. But he did concede it could be an issue with his pedal board. He just wanted me to go through it. We found an issue, but whether his symptoms remain, this is what the testing's for. So we're going to do it this way, and then we're going to vibrate the hell out of the chassis as well, get this thing screaming hot, see if we can get it to play up. If not, it's just a service and a health check. Ainsley signature fired up on the bench, all running great. Really happy with this. Ainsley's actually currently on his way to come and sign this one off. So good news. Here is the cabinet for it. I've just unwrapped it, so I need to do the chassis mounting holes, handle, do all the prep and things. I've got the speaker all ready to go. Looks great. Really happy with this. I think there might be an issue with my camera. Sorry, that it's lost its ability to stabilise. So if any of you are feeling a little bit seasick, I do apologise. Apparently I need to do a software update for the phone to fix it. But yeah, that's that. Come over here. Do you remember the boards I was doing the other day? Well, this is the brown panel PR18 board. Halfway through on that one. Beautiful sunny day. Mustn't forget that. Although there is a storm coming. So, yeah. But yeah, making good progress. Okay, time for a little bit of a rant. So, as you all know, I'm a one-man operation and I do this job full-time. It is how I earn my income, my living. It's how I pay my mortgage, and, you know, help my daughter out of university and all that kind of stuff. It's how I, you know, it's how I make money. It's what I do for a job. And I'm always incredibly grateful for everyone who decides to choose me either for servicing repair or for, you know, buying a new amplifier. Now, like any business, and we've talked about this before, you know, businesses have their ups and their downs, and it kind of does this. It's a bit cyclic. Now, traditionally, August has always been my quietest month. It's when the kids are off school here in the UK, so summer holidays. I get very little service work in because most of the pro musicians are out on their summer tours. So that work isn't kind of there until September, October time. And people generally don't like to, you know, have big outlays, so putting down big deposits on guitar amplifiers this time of year. Anyway, the other time of year that's always quiet for me is December time. You know, that's quite obvious why. But this month so far has been pretty good. I've had quite a few sales and orders come through, some of which have been for multiple amplifiers. So one guy has ordered 3 amplifiers, and I've had a couple more where I've had you know, 2 on there as well, which is just incredible, right? So obviously when I get, you know, big orders in, it's amazing. You know, you always feel good that your business is doing well. You know, you're grateful that people are choosing you, all that sort of stuff. But unfortunately, it was all an illusion, it seems, because nearly every single one of the orders that I've received this month, within 2 or 3 days of the customer placing the order and paying the deposit, they've subsequently cancelled, which means I've had to obviously refund them their deposit. You know, there's a 14-day cooling off period, which they're absolutely entitled to use. I completely understand it. But obviously it's frustrating because, you know, this is my income, this is my business, you know, and not only have I lost the sale and the income, a lot of people don't know this, but any transaction fees that I suffer, either from, you know, card payment processing or PayPal, or that my bank charges me, when I refund, I don't get those back. So every time a customer cancels and I have to refund them, I actually end up out of pocket. And this month, it's been horrendous, absolutely crazy, to the point where I would have been better off not opening for August and just taken the whole month off, and I would have been in a better position financially than I am now because of the amount of order cancellations and refunds that have been going on. Now, I'm going to caveat that, of course, and say, as a business, you're going to get people who change their mind. You're going to get people who realise actually they can't afford it, or, you know, they get an expense comes in, you know, maybe something breaks down at home, or they've got car trouble or whatever, and they can't really afford, you know, a luxury item like a hand-built guitar amplifier. That's fine, I get that. But over, you know, if I look back since I've started, it rarely happens. People rarely cancel the order. You might get 2, 3, 4 a year on average, maybe. But this month, it just seems everyone is I mean, they're just cancelling for whatever reason. But it puts me out of pocket. Now, I am, by law, allowed to not refund those transaction fees to the customers. Okay, so I could keep that money and cover my losses. But I always think that's a bit of a questionable thing to do, especially in this business when reputation is everything, and all it takes is one idiot to go on a forum or Facebook or whatever and moan that, you know, they cancelled an order and didn't get all their money back and I'm a rip-off merchant or whatever, and then that ruins everything. So, you know, you have to do the right thing, and But it's just crazy. I can't believe how bad it's been this month. Just, you know, all these wonderful orders come in, and nearly every single one of them, within a couple of days, they said, actually, I can't do it. Can I have my money back, please? And I end up out of pocket because of that. So just crazy, just crazy. So what the point I'm making is that if you are thinking about ordering an amplifier from me, and I'd be incredibly grateful if you do, you know how much I love building amplifiers for you guys. It's amazing. But please make sure that before you go ahead and press the button, please make sure that you are able to do so, because it does affect me financially if you can no longer move ahead. So that's all I've got to say. Bit of a rant. I don't want to feel like I'm pleading poverty or anything, or anything like that. But this month has just been crazy, and it's hit me quite hard in the pocket. Which, you know, as any small business in the UK at the moment is going through, you know, money can be tight sometimes, and you've got to be really careful how you balance the books. And I can't afford to be taking, you know, thousands of pounds worth of losses because people can't make up their minds. So yeah, that's all I've got to say. Sorry for the rant. Okay, so the red plate is all back together, all done. I'm just going to run a loop through it and just show you, you know, what this thing sounds like, what all the controls do. So you'll see me switching them on the fly. We're just going to run a loop through it. So let's see what this thing sounds like. So we'll start with master at 5, and I'll bring the volume up. Well, there you go. I think, personally, the cleaner sounds are nicer than the overdrive tones. I mean, there's a lot of switching options on there, and we haven't explored half of them because they're all foot switchable as well. But let's just find something else and see what that sounds like. So there you go. Let me know what you think down below. I quite like it. It's probably, well, it's definitely the opposite of what I prefer, which I always think with amplifiers, less is more. But most of these controls are quite powerful, so it's quite easy to dial in a very nice tone. So, you know, for some players, I'm sure this is perfect. For others, it's an absolute nightmare, all those switches and controls, and there's still stuff on the back panel we haven't looked at. But yeah, there you go, Red Plate CDS3, all fixed, all up and running, ready to go back to its customer. I know how much you lot like my weather update, so you're getting two in this video. Yesterday was gloriously sunny, and today, Saturday, we've got this. It's still August. Couple of quick updates for you while I'm thinking about it. This brown PR18, the one I was just doing the board on, so the board's now populated, so I need to do my underboards, my overboards, my flying leads. Need to make the bias board up. All the sockets are in. Need to get the pots in along the front. But yeah, this one is coming along nicely. Cabinets here, speakers here. Just need to get the chassis done and built. Won't take me too long. And the custom build for Ed, haven't made much progress on this, but it's the type of build that you need to set aside a big chunk of time to get really stuck into it. But I have marked out the holes for the front panel, and I need to do the same on the rear. So we're going to have an IEC socket, speaker jacks. I need to remind myself if we're doing 4, 8 and 16 or if we're doing a combination with an extension cab. I need to double check that. We've got an effects loop as well, so we need to work out the spacing for that. But, so that's kind of this afternoon's job to do that. Don't know if I've shown you there's a high wattage resistor that sits in the B+ rail, which is going to go there. So that's all marked out and drilled. There's the transformers are here, which is good. And everything else is here for it. I just need to crack on. I haven't made the board yet, but I've just had a new delivery of board material. It's quite a long board. It's mirrored at the moment, so it would be something like that. So you see it's almost the length of the chassis. So I've had to buy a super long piece of FR4, and then obviously I'll cut that down, drill it, mark it, populate it, etc, etc, etc. But yeah, that's the update with Ed's amp. As I said, I need to find a good chunk of time to just make good progress on this. Because it's a custom build, you've got to work stuff out as you go. You're not working to a template as such. It's all figuring stuff out, and that does take time, which can be a little frustrating. The Blondie 6G6 Baseman that came in, new cabinet is currently being built, So when that arrives, we can get this thing turned around. He's going for like a black panel circuit where the bass channel used to be. So we're going to do a conversion on that. New set of valves, good old service. I did have quite a few inquiries on these and whether I could still build them, because it seems that the blonde bassman as a combo is quite popular. So what I've decided to do, or what I've looked at, and do you remember I restored Bernie Marsden's 6G6C for him? You know, the head and the cabinet. We did the full restoration on that. So I have a lot of experience with these circuits, and I did Josh's as well, didn't I? So I've checked, and the chassis are available. So if anybody is interested in a 1x12 blonde bassman combo, and you're really serious about it, get in touch. I can do them for, including a good quality ceramic speaker. I'm offering at £2,500 plus VAT where applicable, plus shipping where applicable. So if you're in the UK, it'll be £3,000 delivered. If you're abroad, it will be 2.5 plus shipping, because obviously you won't pay UK VAT. But yeah, I am keen to do some more of these. Now, on the bass channel, there are some really cool mods online where you can do it as a Marshall channel. Make it like, so you can have a blonde bassman second channel and a Marshall-y style channel here. And I would do that within that price. So if you're really interested, and you want me to build you a really cool amp, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Before I forget, update on the bass amplifier, the 50-watt bass head that I said I was going to do. I've started doing a rough layout in DIY LC. So yeah, good progress on that. I'm trying to keep the entire filter stack on the board, which will run the entire length of the chassis. So that's what I want to do. But those caps are thick and they take up a lot of space. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's kind of where I am at the moment. It's a long tail pair phase inverter, 2 gain stages, very interesting tone stack which I've not drawn because I don't want to give it away. 6L6 solid state rectification, and would have all those features that we talked about before. But yeah, so I am making progress on that. I've yet to have a really good suggestion for a name for this. So it's currently being called Deep Riff 2 or Deep Riff the Second or Deep Riff Mark II, something like that. It's just version 2 of the Deep Riff. But yeah, there is progress on this. Sorry about this weird swirling that's going on. That's just camera stuff. But yeah, progress on there. And I have actually been speaking to a transformer winder to come up with a really nice spec of transformers for this. But yeah, coming along nicely. Well, that's it then, guys. Thank you very much for watching once again. Please give this video a thumbs up. All of your comments and questions down below. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already. And if you're feeling really generous, why not join the channel like these guys have? And if you've got an amplifier in order on me, please don't cancel. I will catch you all at the next one.